Welcome to Core of the Ocean podcast. My name's Keris.
And my name's Neil. And this is the podcast where we gather and share people's ocean stories.
So welcome to episode 2. On this episode, we've got the amazing Emma and Andrew, otherwise known as Team Sharkbait. And they rowed across the Atlantic as part of the Atlantic Dash.
Yeah, so they did it as a bit of a personal challenge and to raise awareness and money for a number of different charities.
We hope you really enjoy it because they're such a lovely couple.
Yeah, and quite funny as well. Made us laugh, didn't they?
They did, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, and apologies for some of the recording. The connection was a little bit dodgy at times, but, I'm sure you're going to really enjoy it nevertheless. Let's get started. What was your earliest memories of the ocean and how did it make you feel?
So for me, I grew up by the sea, so I was racking my brains, and I think it was just an adventure playground because that was where I spent every summer with my family. Me and my cousins were constantly in the water, as much as we possibly could be, with that old adage of your parents going, "No, you can't go in for half an hour, you've just had your lunch," and we'd sit half hour to be up. So that's my first memory of it. It's just literally playing. So of course the way it made me feel was happy. That was my summer. That was what I did every day if we could. I look back and I think we were there probably every single day of the summer holidays. I'm sure with our British weather we weren't, but for me that's what it felt like. So I loved it. I had no fear. I'd always been a swimmer, so for me it was just somewhere to go and spend the best summer days with my family. But you? What about you?
Well, something's just come to me actually. I've been worried about this question because I lived in a bit of a landlocked area. I come from Monmouth,
Yeah.
east side of Wales, which was nowhere near the sea, unfortunately. But I found a photograph of me sitting on Weston-super-Mare Beach with a cowboy hat on when I was about less than a year old. Less than a year old, really. But whilst Emma was talking then, I just thought of a time where my gran, when I was about 10 years old, she's from the very north coast of Scotland, near a town called Thurso, in a little village called Betty Hill. And she took myself and my sister up there when I was 10 and my sister was 8, on a train, the two of us. And their house, where her family home, was literally, I showed you a photo the other day. You could throw a pebble from their front door into the sea. It was amazing on the north coast.
Wow.
So that I remember like walking across the beach up there with my gran. I was very young. I was 10 years old. So how did it make me feel? I remember thinking it was quite rough, the sea, certainly on the north coast of Scotland there. So that's really my
Tell
first
them
memory.
where you thought salmon came from.
Salmon, yeah. Embarrassed to say that now. They had a wall this house, which is a lovely stone building, really traditional Scottish kind of cottage. And yeah, my gran brought in a whole salmon one afternoon from the walled garden, which you couldn't get into, only from the house. And yeah, for a good while I thought salmon came from the garden. But one of the local fishermen just come along and passed her. I obviously found out later on that salmon didn't come from the garden.
Emma, I met you like a long, long time ago, back in the days of nursing.
Very long time ago.
Yeah. And it's, and we've been friends for a long time. And I noticed that you were doing this mad, crazy adventure of going across the Atlantic as well with Andrew. What made you want to do that?
Well, I've been rowing in Celtic longboats for years now, 20 years. And it just came up on Facebook that somebody else I knew was looking for teammates, and it all escalated from there. Mm-hmm. And then the team changes a couple of times. Obviously, I ended up, this lovely man said he would come with me. So we both set about getting it sorted together then. So it was just a progression from my rowing, I think, not so much for Andrew. He'd never rowed before.
Bullied me doing it.
That's not
It's like
I suppose you get the hang of it before you get to the final destination, I guess. Yeah.
Say that again, sorry?
I suppose you get the hang of it before you get there, don't you? After month one, you're probably an expert.
Did say that the rowing was kind of almost the least important aspect of it, really. We were quite physically fit, weren't we, before we went? But that we spent so much time just sat in front of a computer, like ordering food and all the requirements for the boat. The fitness lapsed in the end, didn't it? But it was okay. It was okay. Going across was okay. Absolutely shattered now.
He's been a natural athlete. I think he was actually better at the rowing in the end than me.
What was the what prompted it? What was the reason for doing it?
For me, I think it was just the chance to have a big adventure, the chance to prove to myself that I could do something quite extreme. And we did it for charities as well. So there was, the fact that we were out there and we were hopefully going to raise plenty of money for the charities that we'd chosen. Again, this was the old teammates that we chose the charities with. But and I've always said to the kids, you've got to go and do mad, daft things. I kind of thought I better put my money where my mouth is.
And what about for you, Andrew?
Well, when I met Emma that fateful night, almost 2 years ago now, I had no knowledge of rowing, really, although I live by the coast now and have done for like 25 years, I suppose. Rowing wasn't in my kind of sphere, and gradually got cool. So I was interested in a challenge of some kind. I've been through a bit of a rough patch in my kind of personal life, I suppose, outside of Emma over the last few years. So I was looking for some kind of challenge and something to rattle my cage and get me sort of out and about there, really, and shake me up a bit. And this was the challenge that came along, luckily, at the right time. It was perfect. Yeah. All teammates fell away one by one, and I was left like a knight in shining armor.
You were a knight.
Yeah, that's about doing it on her own, but I'm sure she could have done it without a doubt. But I'm glad she asked me, or I asked her. No one really knows. There had been a lot of red wine drunk that night, but it all ended in the right place.
What's your most favourite memory of the experience?
Oh gosh, that's a difficult one, isn't it?
Mine, I think, like people talk about the sunrises and sunsets, but for me, it was the moon rises and the moon sets. The night sky was amazing. And obviously at night, you still can't see anything. We became a little bit obsessed with the moon because it meant that we could see a bit more of the water.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, I suppose the wildlife was just phenomenal, wasn't it? I mean, we didn't see as much as perhaps we'd have liked to, but we did see a lot of dolphins, birds, loads of fish.
Yeah, incredible. We did get surrounded by dolphins one day, didn't we?
Well, that was
hundreds of dolphins only for about 15 minutes, but it was amazing, wasn't it?
And just being out there alone, there's just nothing, just sea and sky and more sea and more sky. And
these were big at time, and just getting, I don't know, it's hard to tie down one thing, but just being amazed at what you can get used to living in on a day-to-day basis. We came from Lanzarote and the seas are quite calm, and then they just get bigger and bigger every day as you approach the center of the Atlantic. But you just seem to, one day you think, I can't live like this. I can't do cooking. And then a few days later, that sea exists and you're doing cooking and just living in it. It's phenomenal how you get used to, yeah.
What was the hardest bit, would you say? What was the most difficult thing? Was it physical, psychological, or was it something unexpected?
I think it's definitely psychological. It is a physical challenge, but it's not as physical as people think. It's definitely more just being out there, being alone, when it's getting a bit hairy out there, realizing that there's actually nothing you can do. No one's going to come and save you. You're miles from anyone, despite all the wonderful equipment that you've got on board. Psychological. We capsized, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it. And so after that, we had to hand steer. We'd lost our auto helm, and we were doing half-hour on, half-hour shifts for the last 3 weeks, 24 hours a day. So the sleep deprivation was definitely one of the toughest things as well.
Yeah.
And what kept you going?
Well, at one point we did almost, we were thinking we couldn't keep going, but we didn't really have much choice. Is one of the main reasons. There was no one coming to save us. And I think the closer we got to Antigua, you just get to a point where you think, I've done this now, I've got to finish this, and I've got to finish it in style. And the finish was phenomenal. Just family and friends at the end, and the people cheering us in. It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
Yeah,
definitely.
Incredible. But yeah, definitely was more of a psychological, a mental test than a physical one. Luckily, because we'd let the physical. But it definitely was, yeah. It was intense. After the beginning of it is very exciting when you leave Lanzarote, and then, but when you just after you lose sight of land, which is probably only 2 or 3 days, wasn't it? And it's still exciting because you're learning how to live and exist as two people on this tiny little boat. But eventually you get used to that, and then the mundane nature of what you've got ahead of you, you're doing the same thing day in, day out, and there's a process then of you're trying not to think about all the weeks that you've got ahead of you and things like that. So that you've got to get your mind around that, haven't you? That transition from excitement to, oh my gosh, we're just slaving away here for the next 5 or 6 weeks, which is exactly what happened in the end. So it's definitely more of a psychological test than a physical.
Would you do it again?
If you'd have asked,
your question.
If you'd have first got off the boat for at least a week, you would have got a point blank no, absolutely not. But the brain's clever, or I don't know, dangerous, but slowly the discomfort and the bits that were terrifying disappear, and all the beautiful bits and the lovely bits come to the front. So yes, potentially a different ocean. I think we've done the Atlantic, but possibly I wouldn't say no now.
No, it's like not to row in the ocean. The hardest bit is kind of, everyone says, is getting to the start line, really, with finances and all of the learning process. Certainly for me, not being a rower and not really having any access to any kind of sea background at all. Yeah, it's a long process to get just to the start line. So it's whether you're prepared to put yourselves through that again, as well as the actual. If someone said you can jump in a boat tomorrow and do it in a different ocean, I'd probably say yes.
It's an expensive endeavour.
If they gave us the money.
So is there a next adventure ready? No, not yet. There's a few things we've toyed with. Andrew's an Ironman, so I keep saying to him, do you want to do one with me? Because I haven't done one. I am trying to persuade him that the Indian Ocean would be another perhaps exciting challenge. But again, like we said, it's expensive. We will do something, I think. You don't do something like this and then just go, right, that's it, that's me. I'm going to take up watching TV or knitting. There's got to be something else to do, hasn't there?
Yeah, I think so. Can't go back to the mundane life, although we need to get money back in the bank accounts at the moment.
It's always money.
So did you have to fund it yourself pretty much, or could you get sponsorship to sort of help fund it?
Yeah, we did have some sponsorship. We had some very generous sponsorship, but we did have to do a large part of the funding ourselves because it is just so expensive. The equipment is there to save your lives, and you pay for it. The boats aren't cheap. So yeah, we had some very lovely people who helped us out, and our family and friends were absolutely amazing. Every bingo, every event, they came and bought tickets. But yeah, it's not a cheap thing to do.
And you can't earn while you're rowing across the Atlantic, can you?
No, that's it. You've got to fund your time off. We've both had 6 months. Well, Emma had a 6-month career break, and I've done pretty much the same, haven't I suppose, apart from December.
Yeah.
So yeah,
still got to pay the bills even when you're out in the middle of an ocean.
Yeah, tricky.
Yeah, it's not something you think about, really, is it?
No,
that's it. But yeah, everyone is in the same boat, aren't they?
Oh yeah, and most of the other crews, there was a lot of self-funding that went on. But if it's something that you want to do, it was definitely worth it. I will say that.
I mean, it was amazing because there was it 5 other boats as well that went across at the same time.
You were watching the progress of your day, weren't you?
Every day, like 2 or 3 times a day, I was checking to see where you all were, and I was like, "Come on, Emma, you got this."
People have said it got quite addictive. It was, I mean, before the capsize, we had communications and stuff, and we could look at it, and we were watching because I was getting excited and competitive when we went into second place. After the capsize, we lost that. It's like, I'm not looking at this anymore. It's depressing.
Yeah, because I think at one point you were like second or first, weren't you? You were right up there.
Well, but and it's funny because you all leave together, but it's probably within a couple of hours those boats disappear off in their own direction. You never see them again until the end.
And you think that you guys would be sort of, it looks on the app that you were all quite close, and I was thinking, I bet they're talking to each other and saying hello and things.
Yeah. Like, never again. You just wave goodbye to them, and then don't see them until either they cheer you in the other end or you cheer them in, depending on who gets them first.
Awesome. And what was your favourite creature that you saw on the ocean, or thing that you saw on the ocean?
The dolphins were amazing.
The dolphins were amazing. What were you going to say?
The brown noddies.
Oh, the brown noddies. These birds that they huddled on our boat a couple of nights in a row in bad weather, and they were so tame. There's wild birds, but they were huddled down, and they would step onto your hands so you could bring them into a more sheltered place in the boat.
Oh,
wow. It was ridiculous how tame they were. They were lovely. They were hella noisy, but yeah. And for me, the flying fish. Everyone said, you're going to see loads of flying fish. They'll land on the deck. They absolutely stink. And I mean, they smell like fish, but they didn't. They were that bad. Picking them up and trying to rescue them and throw them back over while they're wiggling in your hand wasn't very pleasant. But when you saw them skimming across the top of the water, they looked like little fairy fish. They're so pretty with their little wings. I was amazed every time I saw them skitting across. They were, for me, I thought they were lovely.
Yeah, there were always fish following the boat underneath.
Wow.
Cleaning the bottom for us, because we didn't cleaning under the boat, did we?
No, too rough to keep.
Yeah, those birds. Oh, and there was another bird, wasn't there? Emma adopted a bird out there.
Did you?
I think it was tropic bird.
A white tropic bird.
Tropic bird.
Yeah. This long straw tail, I nicknamed it straw tail. And the first time it came, he was in the cabin, and he told me we hallucinated quite a bit out there. He said, "Are you sure you weren't hallucinating?" I said, "No." Back the next day, and it would almost come back in the day, fly around the boat like it was going to land, and then after about 10 minutes it would disappear. And it did that daily for a couple of weeks. I was convinced it was going to come home.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, that was a cool force. And we saw it diving for fish a few days. It was exist out in the middle of the ocean. You think, what are these birds doing?
This was whales from everywhere, and it didn't look like a seabird, really, did it? No. But it obviously was. Yeah, just would disappear. Then we'd never see it again till the next day, and it popped back round again.
Goodness. Yeah.
What do you think the ocean is telling us, and do you think we're listening?
Honestly, when we were out there, I think there's a total disregard for the power of the sea and the ocean. And I don't even think as a rower I really realised it properly until you're out there in the middle, and its immensity is just, it's phenomenal, it really is. And I think I felt protected by it, but I also felt like it didn't necessarily want me there. I think it's telling us to be a lot more careful than perhaps we are. And like I said, I did sometimes have a distinct feeling that it would rather I wasn't there. I'll keep you safe. I'll get you across. Now get off of me and go away. And are we listening? I don't know. Yes, some people are listening, aren't they? Some people are doing their best to, keep species protected, to protect our water, to keep them clean from the plastics and the crap that we throw away so easily. But then there's many people who aren't listening at all. I think they're completely disregarding it, and that's a shame. It definitely needs to be more of a voice from the people who are trying to keep the seas clean and safe. It's vital, isn't it? We need.
They were very, from our point of view, though.
We were pleasantly surprised by how little we saw out there with regards to rubbish and things. The rowers are all very careful that everything taken out there is bagged up and taken back. You take it across, nothing goes over the side. Well, there's a couple of obvious things that go over the side, like the bucket contents, but other than that, that is biodegradable. Nothing else goes over the side. So, we didn't contribute to it. We saw a few things out there, which was, I suppose to be, well, no, it shouldn't be expected, should it? We were in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I suppose some things come off of those ships. You can't keep everything on there. But I think we were pleased that we didn't see as much as perhaps we'd been told we might do. So that was one good thing.
It was a good thing. But I also thought that, we weren't wanted out in the ocean necessarily. And I don't know. It's difficult now. The things have kind of run their course, and I feel differently now. But straight after the row, I would have said that the ocean was almost 100% trying to kill me on a daily basis. It's so immense. Like you can't, we'd be sat there and you're just in the middle, and all you can see on the horizon all around is huge waves breaking everywhere. And you think we're totally at the mercy of this. We're powerless to do anything. And if one of those waves wanted to, probably snap our little boat in half easily. And so, I built up a lot of respect going across. It's my only experience of any ocean, really, in terms of certainly being out of sight of land. I think that's the first time, probably. So it was after me.
He did had a personal vendetta. The trouble is, these waves just come from nowhere, and they seem to come almost timed to perfection. Just as you're about to go on your break, you're completely dry, and suddenly it'll just be splash. Have that before your rest. Oh, now you're wet. It's laughing at you almost. So we did take umbrage. We did shout at it a few times, I have to admit.
We had many conversations, didn't we, about whether it was sentient, the water, the actual ocean. And I had the impression that, yes, it was. It's like the actual, irrespective of all the wildlife in it, that the actual water in the ocean is a living thing. That's what I came away from it with.
Yeah. Wow.
I've heard lots of people saying that about water in general, rivers and lakes, and I can imagine when you've experienced it in such an extreme way.
Yeah.
It probably sounds incredibly plausible, really. Yeah.
That's definitely what we felt, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. we were having conversations with it daily.
We did. Talked to it on a regular basis. Every time I got splashed by a wave, I'd speak to it like a small child. I said, that's not funny anymore. Just stop. Like we've lost the plot.
No. You can start to sound a bit, crazy if you're not careful.
Do you want to do a little bit about people, still being able to fund or anything like that? And
we're called Sharkbait. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We fundraised for a local charity, Megan Starr Foundation, the Wales Air Ambulance, the MS Society, and the Robin Cancer Trust. We'd like to raise as much as possible for them. They're all great charities. There's no such thing as bad charity, is there? And if anyone wants to sponsor us, that would be lovely. Or even just to have a look at what those charities do, because it's not just about the money, it's about raising awareness of them too.
We really hope you enjoyed that. What a really inspiring challenge. And I wonder if it's given you any inspiration. I know it's given us some inspiration. Maybe not quite as extreme as rowing across the Atlantic.
Yeah. And it was really interesting, I thought, what they said about the sea being sentient. I think that's something I'd like to look into a little bit more.
Definitely. And I just really enjoyed the fantastic wildlife encounters that they had. The flying fish, I mean, that would be awesome to see. And the dolphins and making friends with noddies.
Yeah. Where can you find them if you wanted to sponsor them a bit more?
But you can check out our show notes, because there's going to be links to their social media and their GoFundMe page. I'm sure they'd be grateful for any more donations.
Oh, yeah, and get in touch. If you know somebody who should be on the show, if we should get on the show, or if you're interested in coming on yourself, just let us know.
Definitely. But we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Until then, get out, have some adventures, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Bye.